Test mic. Good morning, everyone. Just setting up my screens here, trying to share my main screen. And yeah, so I haven't had any trades yet. I'm still just setting up the screen. So bear with me here. Okay, there you are. All right, there. So let's see, everything is up. All right, so good morning, everyone. It's December 3rd, 2024, 9:37 in the morning. Market had been open for the last 7 minutes. Looking at SPY, SPY was all-time high yesterday, and then now having a little bit of a pullback. So SPY is down by 54 cents or 0.09%. Let's see, make sure everything here is connected and that mic is also working. It's down by 54 cents or 0.09%. Let's see, make sure everything. Okay, so looking at SPY, SPY is still having a pullback here, retesting the pre-market low. Pre-market low is at 602.50. With SPY, SPY still around that zone, testing that support. So strong support is that pre-market low, but we'll see what the SPY is going to do and we'll go from there. So a couple of things that I'm watching today are the following. SMCI is very strong today. It already moved to $1.40 or 3.3%. All right. Also, we're watching MSTR. MSTR is trading 3.1 million right now. This is not a low float, 182 million. Pre-market low, 355. Pre-market high, 382. Also, we're watching MSTR. All right, SPY is bouncing from the pre-market low. Looking at the daily for SMCI, it's a 2-day play. MSTR is a gap down by $9, almost $9.50. Coin bouncing up. I don't like the daily, so right now I'm just looking at the daily. Tesla is now an inside bar. AMD is on a nice level here with the daily. I don't like that there's huge wick at the bottom. It is at the pre-market low here, good support, but I don't like the wick. Wick is gonna make us put a big risk. Nvidia is reaching this very nice level here, which is, I'm looking at the daily. That's why there is that pullback there because of that high of that wick from yesterday. Pre-market low is at 137 with a pre-market high of 139. All right, so that's Nvidia. Apple, interesting here, inside bar. That's gonna be a range bound kind of day. So we will see what this is gonna do today. Rivian had a pullback yesterday, not a lot of volume, 2.5 million only. MU is very active as well. MU with a pre-market low at 99 and pre-market high of 101. Look at this one, this one is the pre-market high that week. Created an opening range breakout. So I will be watching MU today. SMCI, I don't like that this is a 2-day play. MSTR encountered the support. All right, so here's what I'm looking at here. MSTR is encountering that nice resistance, which is the high, the high of today, as well as the low of this wick from yesterday. It still has a level at 382, which is pre-market high. So this can be a short, but it can also test this level right here, 380. So we'll wait. So I'm watching MU. Let's put MU here. PayPal. So the interesting here is PayPal. MU. YP. All right, MU heading to that level. 103, very strong, 4.2%. It is a gap up, so you can already tell that it has, let's see if it has some use. So that's how you analyze your stocks. You would like to see first the technical. There is a gap up, so it's already telling you there is a big momentum for this to push up. Now, you cannot short it this time. It's too early for a short. But we are looking at the levels, looking at the daily. Which one will it encounter a strong support or resistance? So right now, no trades to take, no trades yet. NVIDIA encountered that very strong resistance, which is the high of that wick. High of that wick, 140. SPY is trending lower. This can be a good short. So small position to the short here. I just don't like that there's a big wick here. We could have entered this one quickly or earlier if we weren't looking at other trades. Now the stop loss here is at this level. So we have at least 50 cents here. Now the thing about having the stop loss not on top of that wick is we have a higher probability of getting stop out. But that's also because SPY is just moving so quickly and we went into this trade a bit late. But yeah, we have a tight stop loss at that 140.25. Right now, I'm looking at the level 2 here. Level 2 still does not have any imbalance. SPY now is breaking a good support. So support here is, it just went lower than yesterday's body here. So since that is the case, I am looking to add, let's see, 140.25, getting close to getting step out here. Okay, so not ready yet for NVIDIA for a short, so we will retry again. But the interesting level here is it's retesting again that wick. So we got stop out here with NVIDIA. SPY just found a support. SPY now is bouncing up. There is still a lot of orders sitting right here in NVIDIA desk. But look at this weakness here. All right, so 140.25, looking at the tape here. Tape 140.22. Okay, looking at SPY. SPY struggling too, so I am re-entering to the short. Now, since my entry is all the way up there, I can have the stop loss now at the high of the day. So stop loss here is high of the day. Okay, so stop loss, high of the day here. Just put that level, 140.55 is the new stop loss. So initially we got stop out, and then we did have to load up the boat. All right, so we entered short here. All right, so this one is looking nicely, but gathered support 139.50. That is the level right here in the daily. There is a big order now sitting here in the bid. So that bid, looking at the tape, 140, 139.38, perfect. Okay, taking some partial here with NVIDIA. NVIDIA looking good. Took some partial, 139.46, 40, bouncing back up here. Waiting for, took some partial there as well. All right, so we've been partialing at that level. I do not like the bounce as well as what SPY is doing. We are doing good on this trade. Big order right now, 139.30. So 139.50. SPY now is at the VWAP, so we have to take that into consideration. All right, so now it's time for us to put our stop loss lower than the break even, just to protect that profit. Protecting the profit. I don't like that SPY is now just playing around the VWAP, so that means it can just easily shoot up as well. So now it's time to trail that stop loss. All right, so stop loss is below the break even. Apple is breaking out. Okay, MSTR. MSTR is the one that we are short bias. I am waiting for MSTR to test this level, 379. 379 is the high of this candlestick, and it's actually there already. But we are short bias on this because it was a gap down and then was bouncing. So I'm waiting for an opportunity to short MSTR, and we are testing that very strong resistance. So waiting for NVIDIA, either it's gonna stop us out for a profit or still gonna go down. Looks like it will stop us out. But while we were still in that trade, wow, Tesla here looking good for a short. But I don't like that it's an inside bar. Although it looks short on the 5 minutes, the daily still looks strong. So I would rather look at MSTR where there is a strong resistance. So it just went higher than that level that we were looking for. Next resistance is the pre-market high at 382.95, close there. So that's how you analyze your stock. We're waiting for a higher time frame, at least in the 5 minutes, to show us some signs of weakness. Looking at the volume bar, it's losing momentum when it's pushing up. So now we are, okay, NVIDIA just stopped us out, but NVIDIA was a nice green trade there. All right, MSTR looking for a short here. So shorting MSTR, stop loss here is the high of the day. This can, just like NVIDIA, it can also just stop us out, which is totally fine. We can always close the position and re-enter. So stop loss is at 382, small position there. All right, volume bar came through. We're now at the 1 minute just to see how the latest volume bar is. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, we're waiting for confirmation to the short. Just adding. All right, 1 minute looking good, but we are just looking at that smaller time frame. Okay, took some partial there, which was already a green. All right, perfect. Took some partial again. I don't like that there is a huge spread. So that's why even if this one has a nice move down, I am making it a very tight stop loss because of the huge spread here. We're talking about 30 cents. So we are green into this trade. We're waiting for a break of this support for MSTR. MSTR, let's go. Not breaking that support. I don't like that we're missing the volume bar here. All right, so got stop out there, but that was a green trade for the short. What I don't like here is, look at the volume bar here. Volume bar is lacking when it's pushing down. So we were able to have a green trade there, but with the movements of the wick and the spread, let's look for an easier trade. So right now we have two trades, which is short MSTR, short NVIDIA, and both were green trades. Next trade, coin. All right, Tesla now looking good for a short. Good short here is at 354. So I don't like the daily on Tesla though. That's the thing that's missing, because daily is still an inside bar, not a gap down, not a gap up. So you can't really have a big edge. So with coin, let's see, coin is also an inside bar. Look at how you can just get chopped with this daily. So that's the first thing that you get to look at. NVIDIA here still trending lower, but we did get a nice move there already. Apple is just so strong. It's all-time high. You don't want to be in front of that train. It is gonna break that yesterday's high. This is just how strong Apple is. All right, easy trade. We're looking for an easy trade here. MSTR. All right, MSTR looking nice here. MSTR encountered that resistance. That is the high of the pre-market. So high of the pre-market for MSTR. The 5 minutes looking wick. So stop loss here is the high of the day. Okay, getting close to getting stop out. 382, high of the pre-market there. Getting close to getting stop out. 382. That's the strong resistance right there. Even in the daily, you have the moving average. So getting close to getting stop out for MSTR. So MSTR very strong here. 383, looking for that 383 here, and then we'll be out of this trade. It is now printing 382.32, 382.30. So printing here 380k. Let's see, getting close. Rejection. All right, so stop out MSTR. MSTR is not ready yet, so we got stop out MSTR, and we'll look for another opportunity to short this one. Right now, yeah, it's just looking strong, so stop out there. So the move that MSTR did, it went above the pre-market high. Okay, Apple having a pullback at the all-time high. Wow, this one is still looking very strong. All right, getting ready to get, okay. All right, let's see, looking at the volume bar here, big volume bar, small volume bar here. $384, strong resistance there. That is this level right here, moving average at the daily. So we are waiting for a re-entry here. SMCI looking weak now at 45.85. So now it's just in that level, 382. So 383 became the strong resistance here. 383, let's see if it's gonna push higher. 383, some prints here of 383. So we are looking for another entry here for a short in MSTR. 382.50. All right, now we are seeing no prints of 382 or 383. So 383 became a strong resistance. So we can see the weakness here. Volume bar is not supported yet. So we have to consider that. Not a lot of volume when it's pushing down. Be careful with the spread here. At least, what is that? Yeah, very widespread. Almost like 50 cents. 282.50. So we are waiting for signs of weakness. We are now seeing prints of below 382. Volume bar starting to pick up. $382. Okay. Re-entering short here. Stop loss is the high of the day. So stop loss is the high of the day. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, we are still an inside bar, so this can still just retest the high of the day. Getting close to getting stop out here, 383. 380, the high of the day is 384.55. 384.55, so looking at the tape here. SPY now pushing higher. So what is MSTR? MicroStrategy. 379, and then it opened to 362, getting close to getting stop out here, which is the high of the day. Okay, let's see what is 384.60. All right, not ready yet for this one, so got stop out, and we'll wait for another opportunity there. So since MSTR is still not ready, let's look for an easy trade. Easy trade, SE, already have that pullback, 386, which level are we in? Wow, look at this, it's just so strong. So the moves here, we're talking about 362 to 385. What a strong move. It is up by $6. Big rejection at 386. Okay, next resistance here. You have a strong resistance here. All right, what is SPY doing? SPY encountered a strong resistance at 603. Looking at the volume bar here. So every time it has that pullback to 84.08, it is getting bought. So buyers are stepping in with that 385. Looking at the volume bar, this is still pushing higher. It's now up by $6, $7 now. Wow, look at this move. MU looks like a good short. Apple potential for a short too. Wow, this is amazing. The easy trade there is the long. All right, so here's what we can conclude here. See when this is getting overextended, our volume bar here. Let's look at the 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, still have decent amount of volume. The 15 speaks a lot here on what's happening with the volume bar. Okay, next resistance, that is the high of this body right here, 389. Volume bar, time frame, volume bar there, 110. Still pushing this one. So this one can be what we call a short squeeze. Shorts covering their position, hence making the move like a parabolic move. All right, let's see what else is moving. Nvidia. So now MU, this could have been an easier trade. MU here, short at this level, stop lost. 5 minutes at the VWAP. So now watching this MSTR, look at this one, up by $11.50, getting higher, $12. Wow, next resistance here. This resistance is that body of that candlestick from yesterday. And the next one is the wick of that candlestick, which is 398. Let's see if they're able to push that up to 398. All right, let's see if we are seeing signs of reversal here. Volume bar is dying. 5 minutes, that's a huge wick there. That's a $3 wick. 1 minute, let's look at the volume bar. Big rejection at 393. Let's do a small position here to the short. So just a small position to the short. Okay, added. Stop losses, of course, the high of the day. This can just go either direction as well. We saw how strong it was. It went 393.10, which is the body of this candlestick, and was up by more than $10. So this can go either direction still. So we have a small position to the short here. Now, what we can see here is the bid and the ask. Look at the bid here, big volume, now at 387. So 387, let's see, big rejection there. That is 393, 386. Wow, this stock right here is crazy. It is, what a crazy move. So that moving average can act as a support. But now, looking at the tape, we have switched the tape here. The momentum here, now we've been seeing lots of red prints. So the green prints, that's just in between the bid and the ask. But now we don't see any more of those green where buyers are stepping in and buying it on top of the ask. Because we have our setting in a way that once we get to see those bright green prints, that means they're buying on top of the ask because they're desperate to go into the trade quickly. So they don't care if they're going above the ask, they just want to get that fill right away. We don't see that anymore. We see here all white, some greens there, but we don't see as well the imbalance here. So let's see if sellers are able to push this one down. So some green prints coming in, not a lot though. So the way that I analyze that is not a lot of green prints. Those who were short 392, they could be covering as well, because we are talking about at least $4 move there. So some covering happening here. Not a lot of volume. That's why we are under consolidation. Let's look at the higher time frame. So the higher time frame, we still have good volume bar here. The 15 minutes was able to have a higher volume bar, 1.23 million. So that means this can still go either direction. That's why we need to have that tight stop loss. We are an inside bar, comparing it from 5 minutes ago candlestick. So now the shorts are waiting for this one to test the support, 386. Once this support is tested, a lot of shorts now are coming in, because once you have that short position here, 386, then you can either have a stop loss right here or right here. Let's see, hands is on the trigger. If I can add to my position. All right, added to the short. So stop loss here is the high of the day, but we did have just a small position. All right, let's look at the volume bar. Look at the volume here, almost 500,000 at the open, 634. Actively being traded, 7 million, very active. And float here is 182 million. So not a low float. It is MicroStrategy. Let's see what the catalyst is. Just looking at the news while waiting for the move. So MicroStrategy completes, let's see, offering of zero convertible senior notes. Yeah, doesn't look like a really convincing news, but nevertheless, we're only here for a quick move. So now this one looks good. All right, we are encountering that support that is a moving average there. Looking at the 15 minutes, this is such a huge wick right here. So now what we're waiting for is 381.98 to be broken, but that will take a while. But the 5 minutes already look like a reversed move. 15 minutes, we're waiting for that reverse move. So what is that reverse move? The 5 minutes, you have inverted hammer. The 15 minutes, you have an inverted hammer. We already went past through or below that inverted hammer in the 5 minutes. We're waiting for this to retest the support in the 15 minutes for that reversal hammer to show a reversal. All right, so let's see if there's any other easy trade. All right, so let's see if there's any other all right, while waiting for that move, let's just it's just time for us to do our walk to. So waiting for that support in the 15 minutes. All right. Look at what NVIDIA eventually did. So NVIDIA, we were short here. We were able to get this short, got stop out at break even, but look at it now. That's a very nice move. But now we are short on MSTR. So, all right. So this is what we're waiting for the support to be broken, 383. It's taking a while, but look at the rejection happen right here. That's how you get to see and get to have a clue. That wick right there, what happens behind that is buyer steps in and the seller was able to push it down. That's why you develop that wick. Now, if this one, 5 minutes, we have around less than 2 minutes before this one closes. If the seller are able to push this one lower where it opened, then we're gonna have a red candlestick here. Since this one is hanging around close to the support, the more the support is tested, the higher probability that that support is going to be broken. So I'm waiting for that support 382.73 to be broken. Now looking at the tape here, 383.70. Look at this one, 380. Let's see, 382. So we're waiting for 383 to be broken. Looking at the tape, there you go, boom. So now that support is broken. This candlestick is gonna close in the next 25 seconds. 383, still struggling that support. The more you test the support, the higher the chance that that support is gonna be broken. And that's what is happening here. 382.65, we are seeing less than 383 prints here. So 10 seconds before this one closes. 82. All right, so there you go. We got our red candlestick. That's what we were waiting for. Now what we're waiting for is for MSTR to test this support, 381.96. What time is it? 10:20. So this one is just taking forever, but we'll wait. All right, retesting that support again. That was a quick retest of support, because what I expect this one to do is retest the high, but now it's just retesting the support. So boom, there you go. Perfect. Excellent. So now a lot of shorts are going to be coming into this stock because it just tested that low, and we are taking some partial here. So took some partial, waiting for a bigger move here. 382, just broke that support. Took some partial again. Come on, took some partial. I know our partialing here is a bit aggressive, but we have to take into consideration the big spread that this stock has. So the bigger the spread, all right. So I don't like that this one still has a potential to go lower, but I don't like that the support is just so strong that this can just go either direction. So yeah, those are our two trades. So this one still has potential to go lower. A bit got impatient, but that's also because that support, this support here, is just being respected a lot. So we have two trade, MSTR and NVIDIA. Next one, let's see. SMCI already moved. What else is moving here? Tesla is under consolidation. NVIDIA in the middle of our levels. MU all right, what else is moving? So if we see an easy trade, then we will certainly re-enter the trade. Otherwise, we can call it a day. So look at this. So that's how you also consider what the moving average, what the support and resistance is doing. We have this strong support right here. I started to covering aggressively and lowering my stop loss, lower than my break even. So I got stop out here, but with that move, so from 390 all the way to 381. So that move right there, 390, 381, we're talking about $9 move. Although we were able to, we got stop out here a couple of times, 1, 2, 3, but we were able to capture that move 390 to 381 around $9. So this red trade with that $9 move, we were still net of of 1600. So that's how you get to respect your stop loss. Imagine if you don't have that stop loss, and although it went against you, but we were waiting for that perfect timing for us to be able to capture that move. So not all your trade, at the first entry that you will be green. And that's the importance of having that stop loss. We got stop out here, 3 stop out. But with the move that we were able to capture, $9 move, that's more than enough to cover the loss here. But that's the reason why you only want to have a very controlled risk. Because if you did not have the stop loss, then what if this one did not happen? Then we will still gonna encounter a red trade here. But because you respected your move, you have your entry, you have your stop loss, then we were able to still make money out of that move, because that one was a $9 move. So now let's look for an easy trade. Apple had a pullback. MSTR actually now looks weak, so this can be a good position to short. The only thing though is it now gives you a higher risk, because now it is close to that resistance. This can also just retest the high of the day versus going down. The thing that I don't like about here is, although it looks weak and looks like it can give you a nice profit, but look at what's happening here. Your volume bar, when it's pushing down, is dying. So this one, you can just get chopped here in this area as well. That's why I did not want to re-enter the trade there with MSTR. Let's see what it'll do. But for now, let's look for an easy trade. That's where you will find a consistency. Look for an easy trade and you just rinse and repeat it. Easy trade is a stock that's like screaming in your face. You can see clearly if it's weak or strong. So that's the reason why you don't want to enter a trade where it's just consolidating, because if it's just consolidating, then you will just end up paying the commission. Now, interesting enough, look at what SPY is doing. SPY is testing the low of yesterday, 602. Wow, look at this one. 602 and this is going to break the low of yesterday. Now that looks like a potential for a bounce as well, but let's see if that bounce is going to happen. All right, so we can also dissect NVIDIA here. So NVIDIA could have been a one and done trade, but we got stop out here when it was lower time frame. It stopped us out at break even, but we were still able to capture that move. But look at this one. This is the ideal trade where you short it and you just let it run. All right, so I don't see any easy trade as of the moment. SPY bouncing up from that support. Yesterday's low, it's now bouncing up. Let's see what the rest of the stock is doing. The one that kind of mimics the SPY for a bounce up could be a potential for a long. I don't like NVIDIA for a long because NVIDIA, if you look at the 15 minutes, it still has that support all the way down here, still has support all the way down there. So although SPY is bouncing up, NVIDIA can still test the support before it bounces up. That's why there's no trade to take in NVIDIA. So this is what I was talking about earlier, that this can just consolidate, which is what it's doing right now. This can pretty much just break the support, but I don't like when the stock is under consolidation. What I like about this move was you get that wick, and that wick is strong enough to, or obvious enough to say that this is starting to get wick. That's why we were able to capture that move. So that's an easy move there. All right. All right, so while waiting for an easier trade that we can take, let's just do a recap. So yeah, good morning everyone. It's 10:30 in the morning. It's November. I keep on saying November. It's December 3rd, 2024, 10:30 in the morning. So we are 1 hour into the trade, and we are just going to do our recap. So we only traded two stocks today. This stocks is MSTR and NVIDIA. So the first trade that we did was NVIDIA. We have a couple of stocks that we were watching at the open, and NVIDIA is one of them. NVIDIA, it showed us a very good daily chart here, and this is the reason why NVIDIA caught our attention and we traded this one. So let's just remove some of this levels here. All right, so we can analyze it together. All right, so NVIDIA, we always start our day by putting in our pre-market low, our pre-market high, because those levels gives us an idea whether a stock is gonna go range bound or it's gonna go, a gap up or a gap down. So at the open, NVIDIA, we have a pre-market low at 137.78 with a pre-market high of 139.11. So 139.11, looking at the daily here, daily 139.11 is right here. And what we saw with NVIDIA is we always pay attention to the daily. Daily has this moving average all the way here, 140, moving average here at 139. Yesterday's high, the wick of that is, where is that? Is right there, 140.45. Look at how it respected that level, 140.45. Now remember that level is only a zone. So one can argue, well, 140.45, 46, that wasn't really the high of today, but it still went to a couple of cents higher than that resistance. Again, that is a zone, so you have to take into consideration that a couple of cents will be it's not an outlier. That is expected. So it went all the way to 140.53. And then what we saw when we were looking at our first trade, looking for a first stock to trade, was the 5 minutes. The 5 minutes here, so you have what we consider as an inside bar. It opened right here at 138, at one point went to 137. And the daily was an inside bar. We go back and forth the SPY. SPY was an all-time high yesterday. Yesterday went 604 or 604.4 and then all the way to 602.4. Now the reason why you wanted to consider SPY is you'll have an idea of how the overall market is like today. So although Nvidia, one could argue it looks strong today, but look at what SPY had been doing. SPY at one point went to 603 and then at the open 603.38 and then just went lower than the price where it opened. So SPY looks weak. We can already see it from here, the 5 minutes and the daily. The daily, I saw SPY as weak because of yesterday you have the doji. The doji SPY went inside bar of yesterday's daily candlestick. Did not even have enough strength for this one to retest the high of the day, hence showing us that this is weak. So at the weakness, we look at which stock mirrored the SPY the most, which stock is a potential for a short. And that's when we found out about Nvidia. Nvidia here at the 5 minutes having that doji looks weak, although we were late in the party. Good stop, good entry here to the short is this level, and stop loss is the high of the day. Went short, boom, got stop out. That's fine. That's part of the game in trading. You cannot always time the market and you cannot always know what the market is going to do. What you can do is follow what the market is giving you. So perfect entry is here. We got a bit late to the party. So entry here to the short, got stop out. But now looking at what Nvidia had been doing, so we know that the perfect entry is right here at 140. That's why when I got stop out, I know that this one has a potential for another short if I only get to time it correctly. So, okay, stop out, lost there, not a big deal, re-entered to the short. Now I time it in a way where I'm gonna have a tight stop loss. Stop loss is here with the entry right here. So entry is a little over 140 and a little over 140. We were able to capture it. So let's see 140 and the lowest of here is around 139.42 or 44. So we're talking about around 60 cents. 60 cents move with a buildup of position. So entry, added, and that 60 cents move covering like crazy, and then stop loss lower than break even, and then it stop us out. So with that short of a move, also we're talking about 5, 10, 15 minutes trade, we were able to get 1200 with Nvidia. Now next one. So you don't have to complicate here. This is what we were talking about earlier. Although SPY looks like it had found a strong support where it's due for a bounce, we did not want to long Nvidia because it still has a huge and strong support here. Support here for Nvidia is you have pre-market low, as well as the low of today, 137. You even have a support right here. So that support, those three supports, it can still be tested. That's why we did not want to touch NVIDIA when SPY had encountered a strong support. Now, MSTR. Just looking at the watch list here, looking for an easy. All right, MU. Let me just call this one out. MU here. MU is what we call a 9 EMA trade. Look at this one. This is, we weren't able to go into this trade because we were analyzing NVIDIA, but MU is one of those A+ strategy for a 9 EMA trade. So what's a 9 EMA trade? We discussed that in the class. You have a gap up at the open. So at the open, 101.26. So you have a gap up from yesterday. So yesterday it closes at this level. It opened at this level at one point. It tested 100, but it shoot up. So you have a gap up already screaming at your face, I am strong. Do a long, right? Trade alongside because it's already screaming at you. It is very strong. We can see that as well in the daily. It closed right here, 98. It opened 101. So you have that huge gap up. So a huge gap up, you don't want to short a gap up. Gap up is a strong stock. So at the pullback, which is this pullback, now you don't want to enter the trade when it's going up crazy unless you do a VWAP trade, which in this regard you have the VWAP, you can have your stop loss. The only thing that I don't like here is if you use a VWAP play, then you are risking this 101 all the way to 100. You're risking $1.26 for you to be able to catch that VWAP trade. That's the reason why I don't like a huge wick, because you cannot put a tight stop loss. So let's say you did not do a VWAP play, but you did and waited for the 9 EMA play, A+ setup, by the way, that we always discuss in our class. That is, you have a gap up, you wait for the pullback at the moving average. Although it's not in the 9 EMA, it actually went to the 20 EMA or 20 exponential moving average. That's where you want to enter it long. So strategy there is you wait for a pullback, you enter at the sign of reversal of that weakness. So you have that weakness here, all this red candlestick, sign of reversal to the upside. You went long here, 101.5, stop loss at 101. So you're risking 50 cents and it already went 50 cents on top. So first partial is at the VWAP and then you let it run and have your stop loss above your break even. So even if you get stop out, you're still gonna get a green, or you're still gonna be green on that trade. So anyway, so we discussed NVIDIA, so that's the 9 EMA trade. Now the MSTR. All right, MSTR here, this is the reason why we did not want to re-enter the trade, because this is what we were anticipating that MSTR will do. Exactly what's happening now, just that consolidation. With that consolidation, you will end up getting stuck in your trading station, trading, and you're just going to be wasting your time plus wasting commissions. So with MSTR is a bit challenging just because, let's remove all these levels here. We can put it while we are analyzing it. All right, MSTR at the open, we have our pre-market low here at 355, pre-market high at 382. So the way that looks in the 5 minutes is 382 is right there. It had a nice gap down here. You have a gap down at the daily. You can already say that it is weak. It closes yesterday at this level 382 and opened at around less than 370. So although that's a very small gap down, but consider how much of a dollar move that is. So 370, 380, talking about $10 move. So with that big of a move, you have to consider as well the spread. The spread here, 283.50 to 83.99, we're talking about almost 50 cents. With that big of a spread, you would like to make sure that your volume, amount of shares that you're going to buy is not as big, because if it's so huge that you're not able to manage it correctly, then that will be a big loss if it goes against you. So what we did here with MSTR, since it's a gap down, we are short bias, 9 EMA trade, at the sign of weakness, we short. So we were encountering that a lot of moving average there. So we shorted it there. See? All right, we shorted it here. We were able to capture that move. Very strong move there, as well as like here, a very fast move as well. So we entered here at the sign of resistance. The resistance is because it is encountering that closing price yesterday. So closing price yesterday was 380.33. We went short 380, around 379.80. And look at this move right here, 379.80, 378.49. So it still is more than a dollar move. So this trade right here was a green trade. And then in the 5 minutes, you have that huge week. So we were still short bias on this. When short, got stop out. It's not ready yet. When short, got stop out again. So whatever we made here, the green trade, we just gave it back. Not a problem. That's part of the trading game. You cannot predict the market, but you cannot anticipate. You can just participate. So we did not anticipate. We just participated to the trade. So this one just break even. Although we were able to capture this one for a dollar move, we gave it back because of this getting stop out. Now, patience is key. We were very patient with this trade, and we waited for the right timing. R4, what is this level right here? We're looking at back and forward, higher time frame, the daily. Look at this level right here. This is the high of that candlestick from yesterday, 393. Boom. This one we saw, that's a very strong resistance. It already moved from 362 all the way to 392. 6, 7, 8, 9 is, let's see, 62, 92. We're talking about $30 move there. When we saw that it is encountering that very strong resistance, 393, at the back of our head, what is the next strong resistance? Next strong resistance is this wick, yesterday's high, and that is 398. It did not even have enough momentum for that to retest that high of yesterday. But what we saw was that 393 high of this red candlestick from yesterday was such a strong resistance that it got that pullback from there. So what we did, now it's heading 380, incoming here 380 because of this huge, look at this order, 500. Let's just wait for that 380. That 380 is actually going to get printed here. If they do not cancel that 380, that's going to be printed here. So let's look at that 380 there. Let's just erase this. 380. Okay. While we're analyzing this, let's look at the print of 380 here. If the 500 is still there, 380.3. I do not see the 500 here. Let's see if they cancel that order. This one is 1040 was the last. Boom. Oh my gosh, look at that. 380. There you go, the 500. So you add two zeros here. 550,000. You're talking about 500,000 shares that was placed here in the bid. So that's how you use your tape. Now this one is printed here, and that's how you use your level 2 and your tape. They cannot hide what's happening here because this is in real time. The only thing that's real time here is your tape as well as your volume bar. Market maker can make it look like you have a big candlestick, but if it's not supported by a volume bar, they cannot manipulate the volume bar as well as the tape. So we were able to call it out that it is gonna have that flash down to 380, and we were able to do so because we saw 500 waiting to be filled in this bid, which is very bearish, and then this 380 here, that 500, you add two zeros, so you have 00, 500,000 shares of 380, just a very big order for that to drop like that. So look at that drop, 382 all the way to 378. We're talking about $4 move there. So that's how you trade, and that's how you use your tape and your level 2. Anyway, I got distracted there, but I just wanted to point that out on how you can use your bid and your ask. This is like a glimpse of the future, a glimpse of future of micro move, talking about microsecond, minute move. So now look at this one, it's still there. But all right, we got distracted there. Going back to our trade, this one was a green trade, red trade, got stop out. Whatever we made here, we just gave it back to market. We have a strong resistance here, which is the high of that candlestick. We went short. Now we're starting to build our position. Short, added to that position, and then at the drop, that's when we started to cover like crazy. So look at this move that we were able to capture. So we entered here 390.33, entering, adding to the position. So 390, let's see, 390 point around 46, 390, let's just make it flat, 390.50 all the way to 390.50, 381. So that is almost around $9 or $8 to $9. With that move of $8 to $9, this move was just more than enough to cover. This one was a break even, but this one is more than enough to cover the loss that we encountered here with that stop loss, or with that encountering or getting a stop out. So we got stop out here, we got stop out here, but since we were able to capture that $8 move, we were up by 1,600 on that. Looking at the level 2 here, there's no big orders, unlike the one that we called out earlier, that 500,000 shares. You put two zeros there. So yeah, that's how you trade, and that's how you just rinse and repeat. So again, just like what we say every time we trade, you don't want to complicate trading. Trading's supposed to, if you're complicating trading, if you're not able to explain it to an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old, then that means you have a complicated strategy. And a complicated strategy, once in a while, can make you profitable, but it's less likely that you can find consistency with it. So the easier the trade, the better. The psychology behind that is, it's an easy trade because it's obvious that it's weak, it's obvious that it's strong, and you just ride that momentum. If it's obvious that it's weak, then you just short it. If it's obvious that it's strong, then you just long it. And that makes it easy. That makes it easy as well because you just keep on doing it. With everything that you do, trading is a skill. And just like learning how to snowboard, learning how to ski, in any skill set that you have to develop, you need to have at least 10,000 hours to be good at it, to develop that skill. And trading is not different. Trading is not just, it could be, it can be a passion, but with any passion that you have, again, skiing, snowboarding, if you want to be good with your skill, with your passion, you need to invest time with it. You need to have at least 10,000 hours of repetition of doing it, because the more you do the same thing all over again, the more that you develop that skill set, and the more that it gets ingrained in your system, in your brain, which one is the best strategy, which one of the strategy doesn't work. That's why in our class we have this three-legged stool that we always teach to our student. You want to have a solid psychology, you want to have a solid strategy, and you want to have a solid risk management. If you don't have those three, you might as well just go to Las Vegas or just go to a casino, because you're just gambling. And you don't want to take trading and take it lightly, most especially if you're trying to make a career out of it. Because if you don't develop that skill set in trading, then you will just going to be throwing money away. And that's not our goal. Our goal is to trade a couple of hours a day, so we can skip the 8 to 5. We can skip waiting for us to be a 65-year-old for retirement to become financially free. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about making money. It's not about the dollars that you can make in a day, but it is the time that you have saved. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm very passionate about trading. It's not about the figure of the dollar, although of course it looks good when you make profit, but it is about the time. You're saving a lot of time where you can spend that time with your family, with your friends, and you can do something else with your time. Not like you get stuck in a desk job where you punch in 8 in the morning, you punch out at 5. The next thing you know, 30 years have passed. You've been doing it all over for that last 30 years. And by the time you're ready to travel, because you have invested so much and you accumulated so much money in your retirement, then you don't have enough strength because you're 65, you don't have enough time because all your kids are now all grown up and they don't even have time for you anymore because they have their own family, they have their own time. So why not travel? Why not do what you want to do when you're still young? Just work an hour or 2 hours in a day, call it a day, shut down your computer so you can do what you love to do with the rest of the time. And you can do that early with trading. So I encourage you guys just to create that mission, vision, most especially that we're starting. We are less than 30 days before 2025. My favorite time of the year is that December, aside from the holiday, but it's because you create another mission, vision for the following year, and that anticipation just makes you excited for the year because you have sets a plan and you cross it out. So you have 2025 mission, vision, your plans, and you get to cross off whatever mission, vision that you did for this specific year. It's it's just exciting. So I encourage you guys to do the same. And make sure if trading is your passion, put that as well in your 2025. In that way, you can have that 100% focus because you know what you want to do and your priorities. So it's not just making money, but it could be time with the family, time with friends, and traveling. So with that, sorry, I know that's a long run, but just there to encourage you not to treat trading lightly, but to develop a skill set that is needed, that you will need for the rest of your life or until whatever age you want to work, but at least you're saving what, 5 hours or 7 hours a day. I think that is such a good goal to have. So with that, thank you so much for watching. We'll do this again next week. So next week, so we do live trading every Tuesday, 9:30 in the morning. And next week it'll be on the 10th, so December 10th, 9:30 Eastern time. We'll do live trading again. And for those of you who are watching and would like to know where to begin on how to day trade for a living, please feel free to check our website out. It's called ecourseunlocked.com. You can also email us for any day trading questions. We would love to help you guys out. And yeah, with that, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.